In this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you some high value items to flip. Some of these are unique items, some of these are more mainstream brands, but we're gonna be digging in what it is to look for when you're sourcing, as well as keywords to use and so much more.
Hey, I'm Lee Meyer and I'm the founder of Listing of Freedom and the Empowered Reseller. And I help clothing resellers make more money without hustling harder. Let's get started.
All right, if you're new here, my name is Lee Meyer. I'm a stay-at-home mom of four, and I've made over $100,000 flipping used goods on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. So we're gonna go ahead and get started because I've got these items all ready to go right in front of me so I can show you the exact items that we're gonna be talking about. Some of these are brands that you need to know. Some of them are a little bit more obscure brands or interesting items, but I'm gonna give you ideas of things to look for when you're outsourcing. Clues, if you will, that tell you if these items are valuable. Now you're gonna wanna stick around for the end because I have the most interesting item of all. It looks like nothing. You'd probably go, what is this? I'm gonna be showing you what that is and how much it is worth. Now, before we get started, one of the biggest keys to having success as a reseller is knowing what to sell, specifically what brands are selling. This is really important, especially if you're looking at selling used clothes. So I want to take a second to invite you to grab my free brand list. You're gonna find that in the description below this video. Down here, you will see a link and that will get you my free brands list. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this first item. All right, so this is a bag, and if you can see here on the front, there's a rider on here, obviously Equestrian. Up here at the top, there's a little TT inside. This is going to say, it's gonna have that same symbol of the reverse T's, and then Tucker Tweed. This is a brand that was completely new to me, but this bag should sell for about $100 to $150 in used condition. This next item is a scarf. Now I normally pass over all scarves. I usually, don't even bother looking through accessories like this, but this one is really unique. It had this really cute little crochet horse attached that is removable. There's a little button so that it can be removed. There was no tag on this, so I'm like, I've got no idea what the brand is. But I looked around and I was actually able to find it woven into the pattern of the scarf here. I believe it's called Rumisu. I barely got this listed, got a bunch of watchers, and it sold for $75. So this one's going to be getting packaged up and shipped today. This next one is a favorite all-around brand, meaning I like this brand for pretty much every category. Now this specific one happens to be a women's shirt, but they do make shoes, bags, jeans, pretty much everything that you can think of. And this is one of my go-to brands, and this is Ariat. It has a horse print as well as thick stitch. This one should sell for right around $30. Now I've got a ton more to share with you, including an item that I'm gonna show you next that I should get hopefully around $150 to $200 for, but I wanna take a second to let you know that I do have a huge library of over 750 brands complete with done for you research so that you don't have to waste hours and months and years of your life trying to figure out what brands sell best. Inside of my Big Money Brands guide, you get all of the done for you research, including average sale price, sell-through rate, and all of the tag pictures. I'm gonna leave a product card right here for you if that sounds like something that you would be interested in. All right, so next up is the item that I mentioned I should be able to get about $150 to $200 for. At least that's what I'm hoping. And this is a vest, and this is sheepskin. This is super heavy, and it is by a brand called Cloud9. Now, Cloud9, they're mostly known for their shoes. Their shoes are gonna have this same shearling lining. Now, there weren't a whole lot of comparable sales when I went to go price this, so I had to price it based off of other similar vests that were also made of sheepskin and in that similar quality. Pricing can be one of those really tricky things, but sometimes when you can't find comparable sales, you're gonna price high and then hope for the best. Next These are shoes by a brand called John Fluvog. I think I'm saying it right. It says for every Fluvogen thing. And this is what they look like. On the outside, there's gonna be that signature there. These also happen to have the name on this strap. Now with this brand, there's shoes selling for well over $100 for these, and the condition that they're in with the scuffs, I'm expecting to get around $50. This next brand is another favorite brand of mine to come across, and it has this little caret for the tag. It's Kerrits, and this is an equestrian brand. They're gonna have riding pants, they're gonna have vests like this, they're gonna have pullover jackets, as well as coats. And all of these have a really good resale value. This is a quality brand that is fairly common. I come across this one pretty often when I'm out thrifting. Now, as I'm going through these, you're probably noticing a theme here, and that is that horse theme or equestrian theme. And this is because all of the items that I'm showing you today actually came from a consignment client. If that is something that you're interested in, I actually have a whole entire starter kit to help you get started with consignment, but this is a really great way to diversify your income and not have to be dependent just on thrift stores. I'm gonna leave a product card for that consignment starter kit over here. That's gonna help you get your first consignment client, as well as you get a plug and play consignment agreement template. All right, so for this next one, this is obviously, again, horses on it. And this is a brand where you might not know what this is right away. You might pass over this if you saw this in the thrift store because you're like, okay, there's nothing there. There's just a tag with a size, which can kind of look like some things that come from China. But I did a little bit of digging on this one, a little looking around, and there's actually a brand embroidered here. It's called Midi and Me. This is a little bit more of a obscure brand, but this gives you some ideas of what things to look for when you're sourcing that give you a clue that something is valuable. With this one, the first clue is that that name is embroidered. Low value brands do not do this. Now, the second clue is on the tag, and if you look at the tag, it says at the bottom, made in America. This is another really good clue for when you're outsourcing. If you come across items that are made in America, made in England, made in Australia, made in Germany, and not just made in China or made in Korea, those brands, they tend to be quality items that are not mass produced. So for this brand, Midi and Me, these are selling for right around $30 to $40 in used condition. All right, so I've got one more item before we get to that most interesting item of all. Now, this is a gigantic scarf. I'm gonna throw the picture up here because it is so big. I did actually have a hard time taking a picture of this. If you come across anything like this that's super unique, it's geared, for obviously a horse lover, that's gonna be something to be on the lookout for. That is going to appeal to a certain type of person, and there's going to be a customer out there who wants to buy that. Now, when I looked at this tag, this is a new to me brand, but this is a very quality brand that does hold its resale value really well, and it's called the Clever Carriage Company. Now, this is a brand, it happens to be made in India, but it is 100% wool. So it has that going for it as well. This should sell for around $30 to $40. All right, so we made it to the one that you have been waiting for. This is the most exciting one to me because this is one that I probably would have passed over myself if I had been out thrifting and I had not received this from a consignment client. I actually had to go to her and say, what is this? I don't know what it is. It's probably something. It looked to me like maybe a bow tie or a sash for a dress. I thought, does it go with something? Did I totally miss this? It is actually a stock tie. So this is a tie that a rider would wear when they're going to a show, they're going to a competition, and they're putting this on. This is the thing that goes around the neck and is the tie like underneath their jacket. The way that you tell this is it actually has a little split here. This is where the fabric's going to pass through, and then you can actually, finish the tying of that bow. This particular tie for this brand retails new at $125. I'm hoping to get at least 50 for it. And while you may or may not ever come across something like this, the moral of the story of this is if you come across something that you're going, okay, what is that? I know it's got to be something, it looks like it's for something specific. It probably is. And items like that tend to sell really well because there's somebody out there who needs that item. So do a little research, use Google Lens, see if you can find what that item is. If you're going, okay, I don't know what it is, hopefully you're able to find something and then be able to flip it for a lot of money. All right, that is everything I got for you. If you found this video massively helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I've got lots more amazing reseller content headed your way. I'll see you in the next video soon.